Tubarões, as derradeiras máquinas assassinas, são um dos predadores mais perigosos do planeta. Possuem dentes aguçados e serrilhados que conseguem rasgar carne e ossos em segundos.
Chomping.
São predadores solitários com hierarquias sociais complexas e sem qualquer instinto maternal. São seres extremamente inteligentes.
You could see his tail thrashing right behind her and her screaming and she was just spraying blood.
Possuem sentidos extraordinários que lhes permitem ver sem contacto visual e caçar sem piedade.
If a white shark wanted to take you, there is nothing on this planet that could stop it.
Vamos revelar os locais mais mortíferos do mundo.
I didn't know it was full of sharks. It's really close to the beach.
Get away!
E vamos colocar-vos face a face com o nosso mais temido predador dos mares.
Get my gun!
Só no ano passado, os ataques fatais por tubarões duplicaram. A espécie responsável pelo maior número de mortes de seres humanos é o grande tubarão branco.
If a white shark wanted to take you, there is nothing on this planet that could stop it.
Com 6 metros de comprimento, uma velocidade de topo na ordem dos 56 km por hora e um peso de 2 toneladas, contam-se entre os pesos pesados do oceano.
They had measured bite force in a white shark, and it wasn't very high at all. Of course it's not. Why would it be? If you're a white shark and you've got a ton of momentum behind your body and a mouth full of razor-sharp teeth, you don't need to bite hard. All you need is to make contact and just lower your jaw, and your damage is going to be there.
Predador de emboscada, o tubarão não mastiga as presas, persegue-as, despedaça-as e engole-as inteiras.
2 bites through the spinal column, the rib cage, all of it. That's what a white shark can do.
A inteligência e a força por trás destas poderosas maxilas evoluíram ao longo de 400 milhões de anos.
They're smart. They're not dumb. They learn and they remember. They plan ahead. They choose and pick locations. In other words, they make decisions. They have intelligence on their level.
Se quiserem ver este predador excepcional no seu habitat natural e tiverem coragem para tal, a maneira mais segura é mergulhar numa jaula, debaixo de água e por trás de barras de aço, diante de um tubarão branco comedor de homens. O centro turístico de Mossel Bay situa-se no cabo ocidental da África do Sul. É um ponto de visita obrigatório para turistas aventureiros como Hilary Ray Petrovsky.
It just was something that I had always wanted to do. I definitely was pretty scared of sharks, but also very intrigued just because they are such incredible animals. I like to do things that are a little bit of a thrill, that bring excitement, but I really didn't know what to expect. And I ended up getting way more than my money's worth. We went out on a boat, and there were 12 to 15 people on the boat, plus the crew. The area that they're in is an area that is very active with sharks.
Get your cameras ready.
While they did explain that, the sharks could come up to the cage, they may not. We may see sharks, we may not.
Os tubarões conseguem detectar um ínfimo vestígio de sangue na água, pelo que os restos de peixe irão atrair a sua atenção.
So from the boat, you could see the cage and you could see quite a bit of what was going on in the cage.
Seguindo o rasto de sangue, um predador de 2 toneladas aparece pouco depois.
They came quick and one after another. So they were around all the time.
You keep the baits out to the side of the cage, not in front of it. You don't pull the bait forward. The shark comes into the viewport, it gets wedged there, gets into the cage.
O tubarão branco parece ficar frustrado. A equipa retira vezes sem conta o isco da água. A espera de Hilary chegou ao fim.
Before I got into the cage, what I remember thinking most is that I'm cold, but I was also really excited. So you enter the water, you go down just a little bit. There's a bar in front of you to hold on to, and then also a bar for your feet.
Having titanium between you and an 18-foot white shark gives you that sense of security. Most of the cages built, if they're built properly, are very, very secure. If you're going to use metal tubing, no, you're going to be like Jaws. The shark's going to go right through them.
I was definitely a little timid and scared. You know, you grow up seeing Jaws and all of those movies where you are kind of traumatized by seeing, you know, these massive sharks and what they could do. With the first shark that we saw came up and just whacked its whole body against the very front of the cage.
There's a bait hanging right next to the cage, something that you're really not supposed to do. And the shark's eating the bait. And the cage is here and the shark is here and he's nibbling. And they pull the bait out of the water and now the shark goes and now he's biting the cage. Once you get that feeding mechanism going in a shark, he's going to come back until he's gorged, till he's sated.
The cage was getting jostled, waiting to shred you. You can see one of the bars gets bent. I was like, okay, I started looking up going, when are they gonna pull us up? When are they gonna get us out of here?
Os tubarões adaptaram o seu comportamento ao longo de 400 milhões de anos, até se tornarem o super predador que conhecemos e tememos. O tubarão bulldog. Um grande tubarão que também caça e mata com uma eficácia implacável. São predadores solitários, que preferem águas quentes e pouco profundas, sendo avistados regularmente a poucos metros da costa. O seu nome deve-se ao seu focinho mais curto e arredondado, e são conhecidos por golpearem as presas com o focinho antes de as cortarem ao meio.
Bull sharks are nasty animals. Bull sharks are quick, they're unpredictable, they're always ready to fight.
Os tubarões bulldog caçam junto à costa, nadando a miúdo em águas pouco profundas junto às praias, onde se encontram os banhistas desprevenidos. Uma perna humana, com o seu músculo mole e desprotegido, não consegue resistir à dentada esmagadora de um tubarão bulldog. Atingindo os 91 kg por centímetro quadrado, a dentada do tubarão bulldog é a mais forte de todas as espécies de tubarões.
A shark this big could take a 1.5 meter blacktip shark and just bite it right in half, easily.
Sharks don't have skeletons or jaws made of bone. They're made of hardened cartilage. And the cartilage jaws of a bull shark is particularly thick and particularly rigid. And large muscles attached to them give it a formidable bite force, give them the power to bite through really pretty much any prey they come across.
A dentada devastadora do tubarão bulldog é ainda mais perigosa devido à natureza agressiva desta espécie.
Bull sharks have a behavior that's unlike most other sharks. They just don't want you invading their space. If you approach a bull shark, whether you're on a boat or whether you're swimming, they go into this exaggerated agonistic display. It's a warning, back off. And if you don't back off, they'll attack. The more gruesome shark attacks in Florida and elsewhere is likely due to a bull shark. It's the swimmer unknowingly invading their space.
Quando nadamos no território dos tubarões bulldog, não recebemos qualquer aviso e os resultados podem ser catastróficos, como Edison Bethea, de 20 anos, descobriu.
You need other sharks out there, but you're not thinking you'll get bit by a shark. You just fish, scallops, anything like that.
Apanhar vieiras é um desporto muito popular na Flórida.
When you're scalloping, it's kind of like Easter egg hunting, because you're looking through the grassy areas with your snorkel and looking down, and you see one, you'll pick it up, put it in your bag, and you'll keep scouting throughout and get the big one. And they're really good to eat, and it's just a fun activity to do during the summertime.
Mas neste dia fatídico, o casal não era o único à procura de comida dentro de água.
Once the scallops are moving around and they're swimming here and there, and they're catching some, that's all going to put aromas and disturbance in the water.
Addison e Rhett afastam 5 quilómetros da costa.
We loaded up, went out there with a couple of his friends, and we started scalloping into the water. Me and Rhett were side by side the entire day, just sharing a bag and putting scallops in it. And we got pretty far from the boat, so when we were gonna head back, and something pulled me under the water.
And I was swimming like just in front of her, and then I heard her like yelp.
Felt like this person pulling your leg and like pulling you underwater. And then it came around on my thigh and started biting my thigh and thrashing. That's when I knew it was a shark.
I was like looking for where she was. I didn't see her, nothing. And then she popped up out of the water, and like when she popped up, like you could see his tail thrashing right behind her and her screaming.
Did everything I could to try and get it off of me. I was screaming for help for him, gouging its eyes out.
So I swam up to them, had to punch and hit the shark to get him to come off. I put her over me to swim back. The water was just all red. I mean, she was just spraying blood. And he's following the blood trail because that's what sharks do. He was like circling, like I felt his fins come under me, hit my legs. Like he kept coming back and kept coming back around. Luckily, there was a guy, he heard her and saw us, so he hauled butt to us, and then we got her in the boat. And whenever I picked her up and like saw her quad, I just like froze. It was like one of those like, holy crap, like that's bad. But it looked like an eaten chicken wing.
Rhett consegue contactar os serviços de emergência locais.
I got an emergency.
Uma câmara pessoal capta um momento em que o barco atraca.
Hey, I do.
Want me to get?
It's bad.
Yep. What kind of? How big?
Bull shark, dude, it was fucking huge. Like I literally had to like pry it off of her. God damn it, dude.
I remember Rhett like smacking my face, talking to me so I wouldn't be passing out.
Help me. Addison, look at me.
And then I was in and out from understanding what was going on.
Hold on, don't move, okay?
Addison, look at me.
Addison, don't move, okay? Stay still. Hey, go ahead and get the stretcher all the way here.
It might have picked up the activity of the two of them swimming. I was curious, what's causing this? Attacks by bull sharks generally are very swift. It's not like a shark coming in and circling you and looking you over and then, oh, okay, I'll go try a bite. No, this is just straight in, hit you, grab you, it thinks you're food.
It's a 17-year-old juvenile, fire 4, fire 12.
Com a vida de Addison em perigo, após uma considerável perda de músculo e sangue, a equipa de emergência leva-a para o hospital com a máxima urgência.
He for sure saved my life. If I was with anyone else, I would have died for sure.
Infelizmente, a perna de Addison não pôde ser salva. E ela tem agora de viver com as consequências desse dia fatídico.
But the shark bit off all right here on the inside. And so they actually had to take this part of my leg that was right here and flip it to make me a nub. And so now I just have this prosthetic. I got back in the water, I would say, about a year after. But it was just nice being back in the water like I wanted to be.
Os dentes dos tubarões são lendários. Simbolizam a força lendária destes predadores antigos. Os dentes escondem o segredo para a capacidade que o tubarão branco tem para matar e despedaçar as suas presas com tanta eficácia.
Massive jaw, big teeth, very sharp. When they're eating a dead whale, they impale the lower jaw as the anchor. Then they take the upper jaw because the teeth are very broad. They sink the teeth in, And the serrated edges of the teeth cut out a big chunk of the blubber. They simply pull it off of the animal and swim off and then come back in and repeat as desired.
Uma camada extremamente dura de esmalte cobre uma substância chamada de dentina, a qual é mais densa do que o osso. São tão resistentes e aguçados que alguns guerreiros usaram-nos como pontas de lança. Ainda hoje é possível encontrar fósseis de dentes com milhões de anos.
Sharks have this incredible and unique ability to replace their teeth throughout their lifetime, and so they've got rows and rows of teeth. Like this one only has really one functional row of teeth. But then behind that, there's about 3 rows that are fully developed. And then behind those, there's another 3 rows that are in various states of development. And as they feed and a few of these get damaged, this row will rotate forward and fall out. The next ones will come forward. So over their lifetime, a shark will go through hundreds, if not thousands, of teeth. So even a small shark can do a lot of damage. You get a big shark like this, it can be so quick with these razor sharp teeth, they can do a lot of damage really quickly.
Um tubarão que desenvolveu uma maneira inovadora para se alimentar foi o tubarão-tigre. Esta espécie alimenta-se de tartarugas, mas como ultrapassaram a dificuldade em quebrar a carapaça dura dos quelônios?
So if you look at this tiger shark jaw and you see it has these really unusual, nothing else has teeth like a tiger shark. Some people say it look like an old can opener, with this curved edge. Got the same teeth on the top and the bottom. And so the cusp of the tooth is not pointed, so it's not gonna break on that turtle shell. Tiger shark, it's not gonna try to just bite something in half. The tiger sharks actually have really weak jaws. I can pull a big tiger shark's mouth open because its jaw will bend. But that's an adaptation that helps them for feeding on things like sea turtles. The whole jaw can bend across the surface of curved prey. This tiger shark can bite a sea turtle, and they can bend that jaw across the whole shell, both upper and lower. And then if they move this thing back and forth, they can basically carve a chunk out of the hard shell of a sea turtle. Really cool adaptation.
Atingindo uma velocidade máxima de 32 km por hora, os tubarões-tigre não aterrorizam apenas tartarugas, como descobriu Scott Araguchi, enquanto pescava no seu caiaque.
Oh, fuck!
I was planning to fish with my partner. It ended up being a very, very calm day where there wasn't much wind, there wasn't much current. The fishing was very slow, so nothing was happening in the ocean for us. So we had gone back in just to fish the reef, just to catch something. And I ended up catching something, and I put in my fish bag behind me. And in order to do that, I had to sit on the side of the kayak with both feet in the water and turn around and do that. Then I came back around and straddled the kayak with both feet in the water in order to re-rig. And I was sitting in that position, changing my line, when I heard what sounded like a boat coming at me.
Oh, fuck! Fuck! Tiger shark! Tiger shark ran me. Holy fuck!
When the shark hit the kayak, it knew that it was something solid and it wasn't anything to eat. Yet it slid down the kayak and then turned and grabbed it and bit it and held onto it and shook it a little bit for 3-4 seconds at least before it let go. That's not a shark that's feeding. That's a shark that's saying, I really don't want you here. Would you please leave?
The shark had hit me, knocked the kayak to the side, and kind of slid down the side of the kayak, and its mouth was 2 feet from my head. Then I realized I got rammed by a shark. I was stunned and shaken up. It happened so fast that it really didn't sink in until I could see what the camera captured. I realized that really was a close call. Had I been bitten, would I have gotten rescued in time to save my life? All that went through my head. And I still think about that. But really, emotionally, I wasn't ready to go back into the water for 12 weeks. I needed to come to grips and build up my confidence again to do that. When I go out, I'm aware I'm taking a risk. But I love to do it, so I keep on doing it.
Os tubarões desempenham um papel primordial nos nossos oceanos. O seu apetite voraz ajuda a eliminar os animais marinhos fracos e doentes, mantendo assim o delicado equilíbrio do ecossistema. Mas quanto mais invadimos os mares em que vivem os tubarões, maiores são as probabilidades de um ataque. 3 superpredadores: o tubarão branco, o tubarão bulldog e o tubarão tigre são responsáveis pela maioria dos ataques. Há uma ideia errada de que os tubarões morrem se pararem de nadar. Mas o tubarão-tigre desenvolveu um sistema engenhoso chamado irrigação bucal. Inspiram água através das fendas branquiais, o que lhes permite continuar a respirar enquanto perseguem as presas. O nome do tubarão-tigre deve-se às listas negras que marcam o seu dorso e que desaparecem gradualmente com a idade. Predadores solitários gostam de se alimentar à noite. Normalmente preferem as áreas costeiras junto às praias. As fêmeas podem atingir os 5 metros de comprimento, o que faz do tubarão-tigre um dos maiores tubarões dos oceanos. Tubarões grandes têm grandes apetites e os hábitos alimentares do tubarão-tigre são os mais invulgares destes 3 superpredadores. Incríveis de ver no seu habitat natural, esta espécie fazia parte da lista de desejos do professor de mergulho Steven Sim, quando viajou até às Fiji. Mas o seu sonho de os ver de perto transformou-se num pesadelo.
The day when we start do the shark diving are really exciting because this is the first dive I do with the tiger shark. Tiger shark is not every day, so they is very happy when I see the tiger shark.
These shark feedings, in a sense, condition or train sharks to be in certain areas. They know that they're going to get fed because this is where I go. And I see these things coming down with bubbles coming out of them, and they're going to feed me. It's a conditioned response.
But I don't know what happened. The tiger shark become aggressive because they know the diver will feed them.
Tiger sharks have what's called a third eyelid, nictitating membrane. And when they get close to something they're going to feed, or they touch something with their snout, this eyelid comes up to protect the eye.
When I see the eyes flat to the white color, then I know they want to bite something. So I only start to duck.
Mas perceber que o tubarão estava na iminência de atacar não evitou o que aconteceu a seguir.
When the shark start biting, actually in my mind, I only can think is, don't bite me. Don't get my head.
Vendo Steven em perigo, os outros mergulhadores tentam afastar o tubarão horrorizado.
He was bitten because he was where the food was. That's like you're putting yourself on the dinner table, in a sense. So you need to expect to get bitten.
When I saw the video, I feel I have a second chance to live. Because if the shark really bit my head was gone. So when I saw the video, I said, wow, really lucky for me.
O tubarão-tigre é conhecido por comer de tudo.
Tiger sharks are the true garbage disposal of the sea. They eat everything.
Pescadores já encontraram vários artigos inesperados no estômago destes tubarões, como balas de canhão e até uma armadura, assim como alimentos mais comuns. Dissecar um tubarão ainda é a melhor forma para sabermos mais sobre os seus hábitos alimentares. O biólogo marinho David Burnvey explica.
This is a necropsy of about a 3-meter juvenile white shark.
Apesar de já ter quase 3 metros de comprimento, este tubarão branco ainda não é um adulto. Os tubarões fêmea tendem a ser maiores e isso é importante. Estudos sugerem que o tamanho é relevante para a sua hierarquia social, determinando o seu comportamento e garantindo o seu domínio sobre os machos. Neste tubarão branco podemos ver os dentes serrilhados que o ajudam a cortar carne e ossos com tanta eficácia. Dentição é o número, tipo e disposição dos dentes numa espécie animal. Ao estudarmos a vasta gama de dentes de tubarões, percebemos melhor os seus hábitos alimentares.
You can see the teeth. It's juvenile because it has quite narrow teeth.
Comparando com as maxilas de um tubarão adulto, podemos ver como os dentes de um tubarão branco ficam maiores com a idade, para se adaptarem à mudança de peixes moles para leões marinhos de grande dimensão, tartarugas e até outros tubarões.
The white shark is a visual predator. It's very dependent on its eyes, and that's also a weak spot for the white shark, which the seals also know. So usually you will find a lot of scars around the eyes from seals. When the white shark is attacking, the eye will roll backwards, exposing a white tissue of the eye, and it's basically the cartilaginous capsule of the eye that will save the eye from any claw marks or bite marks from the seal. Now we are going to open the white shark.
The liver of a shark contains oil, squalene, that acts as a buoyancy compensator for the shark. I've dissected large white sharks where the liver has comprised over 30% of the body mass.
O fígado do tubarão não só armazena energia para as importantes explosões de velocidade durante os ataques, como mantém a flutuabilidade na água. Sem o fígado, os tubarões afundariam. Este fígado volumoso também cobre e mantém o enorme estômago quente, ajudando na digestão.
The white shark has a very large stomach volume, so it could eat a full-grown dolphin or several seals.
A fim de capturar as suas valiosas presas, os tubarões desenvolveram um sistema de órgãos sensoriais menos evidentes. As narinas captam quantidades microscópicas de sangue na água. Uma linha lateral que percorre os flancos do tubarão capta minúsculas vibrações. E possuem uma espécie de radar embutido, as ampolas de Lorenzini, que detectam os impulsos nervosos de animais nas imediações do tubarão. Devido ao seu poderoso organismo e a técnicas de caça aprimoradas, o tubarão branco não receia os seres humanos e é responsável por mais ataques do que qualquer outra espécie de tubarão no planeta. As autópsias dão-nos uma perspectiva científica dos tubarões, mas por todo o mundo, turistas pagam milhares de euros para os ver ao vivo, da segurança de uma jaula de metal. Como o publicitário de 51 anos Ming Chan, que partiu de San Diego, na Califórnia, num barco de turismo para mergulhar numa jaula junto a uma ilha vulcânica em Guadalupe, no México.
When you go into the water, you become 3D. You just like you can fly.
Esta região é conhecida entre os amantes de mergulhos com tubarões por ter águas azuis límpidas e muitos tubarões brancos. E há muito tempo que Ming sonhava em mergulhar aqui. Com o dia a chegar ao fim, Ming entra na água para um último mergulho.
At that moment, I was the only person in the cage.
Here we go.
Suddenly, in my right-hand side, the water is pushing me so heavily of that. So I turn my head to see at the right-hand side. I see the shark was jumping on the cage.
Oh my God.
And then he broke the cage, and then he come in.
Oh my God.
When I see him got in, I really don't have time to think that much of that. I just hope that he don't hurt me.
Claramente perturbado e ferido da jaula, o tubarão branco consegue libertar-se. Mas Ming desapareceu.
Was there anybody in there? Who's in the cage? Nobody's in the cage.
When the sharks come in, I was accidentally sliding out from the cage. From the hole, it broke it. And I see the other 3 great white was under my feet. I turned around to see the cage, so there was nothing in the cage. So I make a decision, swim back to the cage.
Somebody in the cage? Yeah, somebody's in the cage. Somebody's in the cage. Oh my God. It's me. Oh my gosh. Okay. Jeez.
After I was luckily and safely back to the surface, just only feel lucky.
Are you okay? Are you hurt?
Every time when I'm watching a video, I just don't feel that person is myself. Then it's not real. Just like watching a movie. Yeah.
Para além do tubarão branco, do tubarão bulldog e do tubarão tigre, os tubarões já percorrem os oceanos do mundo há milhões de anos. Mas se recuarmos no tempo, cerca de 5 milhões de anos, encontramos uma espécie que faz estas 3 parecerem peixes minúsculos e inofensivos.
Despite not having been on the planet for a long period of time, it's one of the most infamous species of sharks. And that was because it was the largest carnivorous species of shark to ever be in the oceans. The estimate's at least a 10-meter animal and probably significantly larger than that. So you can imagine a Meg being like a white shark, but the size of a whale shark.
O Dr. Charles Underwood é paleontólogo e estuda ecossistemas antigos através da análise exaustiva de fósseis com milhões de anos, como os do Otodus megalodon. Esta análise ajuda-nos a compreender as suas capacidades.
So this is a cast of a very large tooth of Otodus megalodon, and you see it has a very, very distinctive shape. It's very triangular, the edges are very serrated, and it's also very robust, it's very thick. This is essentially the steak knife for taking out whales. It has a shape that allows it to slice through flesh, to take off huge gouges of meat, which can both disable and kill a very large, potentially very dangerous piece of prey, but also then dismember it enough to be swallowed.
Este predador gigantesco tinha maxilas grandes o suficiente para engolir um automóvel e centenas de dentes aguçados como navalhas que podiam cortar uma baleia azul em 2. Conhecido como um mega-tubarão, este precisaria de consumir uma enorme quantidade de alimento, o que sugere que este gigante dos mares tinha um apetite voraz. O Dr. Gordon Hubble, um especialista em paleontologia de tubarões, tem uma das melhores coleções de maxilas e fósseis de dentes de tubarões do mundo.
This case down here just shows the largest megalodon tooth that's ever been found. Megalodon is found all over the world, but it certainly wasn't rare. The mega-tooth sharks first appeared, around 60 million years ago or so, and they just kept getting bigger. So then megalodon, well, there was a shark that was a good 60 feet long, and teeth were 7 inches high. They were enormous teeth. Well, of course, they would have to feed on big things like big marine mammals and big whales, and that was the downfall of the shark.
One of the diets of Megs was thought to be whales, and one idea that might have actually driven their extinction may have been competition with white sharks that arrived more recently.
There's debate over why they went extinct. One of the theories, it seems that there was a pretty gross decline in whales during that period, and so their prey may have died out.
Os tubarões são um dos mais infames predadores do planeta. E 3 espécies são responsáveis pela maioria dos ataques a humanos. Das praias ao oceano profundo, o tubarão branco, o tubarão bulldog e o tubarão tigre são responsáveis por 60% dos ataques não provocados. Preferindo caçar de noite ou em condições de pouca luz, usam o ambiente escurecido em seu benefício, escondendo-se nas sombras criadas pelo sol poente e utilizando uma visão que é 10 vezes superior à dos humanos. Por mais estranho que pareça, alguns tubarões têm algo em comum com os gatos no que diz respeito à visão: a pupila com fenda vertical. A pupila de alguns tubarões e gatos dilata até 135 vezes o seu tamanho normal, permitindo a entrada de imensa luz. Também possuem um tapetum lucidum. Esta camada aumenta a captação da luz, o que lhe melhora a visão sob condições de pouca luz. A australiana Madison Stewart é uma ambientalista com centenas de milhares de seguidores nas redes sociais. A sua paixão pelos tubarões levou-a e ao seu colega realizador Tanner Mansell a percorrer o mundo. Ambos vão estudar as alterações no comportamento dos tubarões bulldogs a quando da mudança da luz.
Today we're planning to do a dive at dusk with the sharks. There are a lot of species that prefer dusk and dawn as times when they hunt. It helps with their camouflage, it helps with sneaking up on prey. So it doesn't exactly give us the upper advantage, so we need to be a little bit more aware when we're diving at that time. But we do get to see another side of the sharks, and it's very worth it just for that.
A lot of shark species will hunt at dusk and dawn because the sun is low on the horizon. The sunlight is reflecting off of the surface. You really can't see the shark coming.
A algumas milhas das populares praias de Miami, Flórida, Madison e Tanner irão mergulhar nas águas costeiras, onde os tubarões bulldog irão procurar alimento. Aqui, esperam estudar a mudança no comportamento desta espécie de tubarão à medida que a intensidade da luz diminui.
Statistically, sharks are a bit more active at night, so I guess we're going to go kind of test that theory.
The biggest advantage in the water with sharks is eye contact, and when the light is lower in the sky like this, I become a bit more of a silhouette to them, and eye contact becomes a bit harder. So we'll see if that increases their confidence and decreases mine. The sun's getting lower in the sky, which means the sharks are looking for blood. I've dived at this time of day in the past, and from what I know about sharks, this does become a high-risk time to be in the water.
They hear the motors revving, and they're gonna start coming up from the bottom to check out what's going on, because usually it's a fisherman catching a fish. You register more bites at night, most likely due to mistaken identity, you know, because they do use their sight a lot when hunting. So if they can't see what they're going after, you know, a lot of times they try things and could end up, you know, making a mistake.
Most of the shark attacks are happening around a certain time. There's evidence to show sharks spend a lot of their daytime in deep water and then come up in the dusk and dawn time in the shallow water looking for prey. So it's a very interesting time to be in the water, and you do notice some slight differences in the shark behavior.
Yeah, look at that. Those are big sharks.
I would say dusk and dawn are probably good times to stay out of the water.
Be careful, guys. These sharks get frisky at dusk. Yeah.
Assim que Madison e Tanner entram na água, são recebidos imediatamente por um par de tubarões corre-costa com 2,40 metros.
When that light gets like a tiny bit lower, you can see the sharks getting a little more active, brave.
It's very important to understand that fine line of like, okay, I'm getting the sharks a little too riled up right now. It's time to kind of take it easy. And every species is going to be different. Every location is going to be different.
If it does get too hairy out there, just get out of the water. You know, we're on their turf, And if it doesn't feel safe, and if there's too many sharks that show up or a species that is a little more aggressive, we just get out of the water. I'm much better at doing that than Tanner is. He'll stay in there. Yeah.
Watch your fingers.
Tanner? You.
At dusk, a lot of shark species will migrate towards land. That's because there's lots of little fishes that come in there and they can feed. Well, you don't want to go swimming at night because that shark is actively feeding.
Yeah, I don't know. Well, I can look on there.
Yeah, we got close encounters. It was great. And it was as the sun started going down, we got more action. That was cool.
We do get the occasional great white shark in Florida, and I'm always hoping to see one, but not at this time of day because they are one of the species that loves to hunt in low light. So I wouldn't push it much further than this, but now is a safe time to get out of the water and just enjoy them while we had them.
No próximo episódio, vamos entrar na pele do alimento favorito do tubarão branco.
You see how they breach on those seals.
The acceleration of a white shark was 30 kilometers per hour.
Vamos explorar a ciência extraordinária que se esconde no tubarão martelo.
It's got this big electrical field detector on the underside of the head.
E o mergulho numa estância de férias que se tornou um pesadelo.
This guy's gone for. He is absolutely done. There is no way this guy's surviving this.